Everybody, this is Apex Investor. It's a Friday. Market had just closed a while ago, uh, 2 hours ago, for 2 hours ago. So this update is basically regarding Torchilight shareholders. I'm just going to read a few, not a few, I'm going to read one little article I was looking at. It says, Dear Torchlight Energy fans, maybe not fans, stockholders, shareholders, mark your calendars for June 30. We know what that date is. It's when the merger is finalized. So I'm just going to read this. It's from markets.businessinsider.com by Chris MacDonald from Investor Place. What a wild ride investors in Torchlight Energy have been on. Indeed, since mid-June, shares of TRCH stock have been on an absolute roller coaster. Shares went from $3.50 to nearly $11, falling back down to the $5 level of late. And again, I bought this back at $2, but more recently at $5. Investors who have held through this uncertainty are still up. However, this kind of volatility is stomach churning. Okay, I guess it's your first time, like the meme, first time? Question mark. The company's highly touted merger with Metamaterial, which is over-the-counter market's MMATF symbol, has driven most of the excitement in this stock, and reasonably so. Shareholders approved the deal on June 11th, so it's official, it's happening. And Torchlight is set to become a much larger entity in short order as a result, only in literally 5 days from now. Indeed, retail investors have jumped on the stock prior to the announcement. So it's all the excitement. Will the reality uh, meet the expectations? I think that's a big question mark, right? This combination of meme stock hysteria and merger excitement helped to drive the stock in recent weeks. Additionally, as a result of the merger, there's a special dividend that will be issued, paid out to shareholders who own the stock ending June 22nd. So I owned a few, not too many, but anyway, I'm getting a dividend as well. I did see a video by Alpha Stock Strategies people, the one that I referenced in one of my videos, saying, "Where's my dividend?" Well, that takes time. They haven't even sold off the assets yet, so there won't be a dividend until the assets are sold off, which I think will probably be, if not by the end of the year, the next year. They didn't give us a time frame. They are going to release the dividend, but and give it to the or send it, I guess, send it to the shareholders, but that has not been announced as to when it's going to happen. It is happening. They just didn't give a precise date. So a massive range between $1 per share and $20 per share has been discussed. Okay. So most of the recent volatility we've seen has been the past few days, okay, without this $1 to $20 valuation bump. TRCH is likely trading where it should be. Yeah, it's about right. At least according to what the market believes it's worth. Actually, no, that's not true because it's being shorted. So what it's really worth, we could see, around the $11 range. Not saying that's what it's worth, but that's just based on a little bit of excitement, not uh, not when the merger hasn't been done yet. So $11 before merger, pre-merger. So what happens after the merger? Could we see minimum 10, maybe even 20, like they're saying here? So Torchlight announced earlier this week they are extending the merger combination date, so the date when it's supposed to happen, to June 30th. That's what this video is about. The company confirmed that its preferred dividend will be paid out June 25th. Okay, well, they're saying it's going to be paid out. I don't know how how close they have to adhere to that. I mean, we'll see. We'll see if it's being delivered. Maybe it's going to be delivered Monday. I don't know. That's a big question mark. But I'm not in this for the dividend. I'm just basically talking about the long-term big picture of this stock. So with this deal expected to close at the end of this month, again, June 30th was the revised date. Investors have certainty with this deal, and certainty could definitely be a good thing for TRCH investors right now. And that's kind of obvious. It's kind of like, okay, but so the significance of next week is, in all likelihood, I'm not saying it's a guarantee, but it's very likely that the stock will see a big turnaround uh, from June 30th, which I believe is a Thursday, or is that a Wednesday? June 30th, I think that is Wednesday. Yeah. So from Wednesday, June 30th next week, we should see a big turnaround. But the days leading up to that, I foresee the stock dropping more because the shorts want to discourage investors of buying into the stock and encourage selling off because, well, the shorts want to make money and maybe they also want to buy into the stock, at a lower price. So, I mean, if they could get it at $1 or $3, of course they'd get into it, the short sellers. They don't have to just short sell. They can do both. They can play both sides of the game, can't they? Can they not? And I'd say, yeah, why not? Why can't they? I mean, that's a sneaky thing to do, and I will not put it past them to do that. So let's just take a look at Torchlight and then some other stocks really quick. So let's look at 28 as of right now. So it only actually it's up 4%, 20 cents. But the range was 480 to 538, so it did go up, and then just a little bit of a kind of fluctuation there, but it wasn't a big fluctuation. It still stayed within a steady range. It was pretty steady overall, and ended up in the green. And after hours, you can see 468. I predict that this will continue to drop Monday, and then into Tuesday, maybe drop some more. Will it go below 4? Could even go to 3. I'm not gonna rule that out, but I don't see it going below 3. I could see it going to 4. I could see it going to 3, but not below that. And if it goes up Monday, Tuesday, I'll be pleasantly surprised. I don't see that happening. It just doesn't make sense. Or it could make sense on Tuesday if people are like, "Oh, this merger is happening. I want to get the one for one," but it's too late. The one for one, if you didn't buy this stock yesterday, you will not get the one for one, as far as I know. I may be wrong. Please correct me in the comments if this is incorrect. But as far as I know, if you've bought this stock, TRCH, yesterday, you will get one for one Metamaterial stock once the merger is complete on the 30th. So that's why it was so important to buy this week. And that's why I made those emergency videos earlier this week as well. So what happens on the 30th? Good question. Good question myself. Here's the answer. Most likely, it's going to go higher than $5. We could see it go to 10. Could even see it go to 20. I don't think it's going to 20 right away on that same day. But as I said, by the title of this video, this will go up significantly on the 30th as a result of the merger being complete, being finalized. TRCH, as it is known today, as a ticker symbol, sticker symbol, as a ticker symbol will no longer exist. It will be known as Metamaterial, whatever that is, whether it's double M, MM, or META, which I think is pretty cool sounding ticker symbol. It's kind of like got some meme potential there. Like that's so meta, meta. Um, but anyway, kind of thinking about meta. No, but yeah, there's a lot of potential. Oh boy, I mean, if it's true the dividend was given out today and possibly more on Monday, then the short sellers are pretty much they're in a bad place. They have to cover. They have to cover. So this is only going to go up. It might go up directly on Monday. I don't know, but I'm predicting it might drop a little on Monday and Tuesday leading up to the merger. I could be wrong. Could be wrong, but regardless of what happens Monday and Tuesday, Wednesday is really the day we're very we're anticipating with bated breath. We want to see the stock roar to greater heights than just $10.88 or $11. No, it's going to crush that. Potentially, we could see $20. Not next week, but maybe next week, but I foresee from June 30th and beyond, not just, next month or next week or the next 3 weeks or the next 2 months, but possibly, the next 6 months. And then if you even give it, at least 6 months, a year, wow, wow. I wouldn't be surprised if it got to 20, 30, 40, 50, probably 50 at the most. I'm thinking 50 might be the ceiling, unless unless Metamaterial announces a partnership with Tesla, like an exclusivity deal where Elon Musk and, the CEO of Metamaterial, I forgot his name, they'll announce, that they're working as partners to, help produce Tesla's cars or something in regards to their manufacturing process. Wow, that would definitely bring the stock to $50 minimum, 40, 50 minimum. Okay, let's change it to 40. But 40 minimum. Could this be a triple digit stock in the hundreds? Maybe. I don't think it's going to happen within the next 6 months. It could happen in the next 5 years. Yeah, potentially in the next 5, 10 years. But that's a long time to wait. I don't know if everyone has that patience to just sit on that for 10 years. But, give it 6 months. Give it minimum 6 months. We'll see where we are by the end of the year, December 30th, and check back in 2022. Um, and if you're even more patient, give it a year. Let's check back in June 2022. See how it's doing a year from the merger. Going to be very interesting regardless. I don't foresee it dropping. I see this stock going very high. Again, a lot of people are just not able, they're not able to buy off the counter, off the market stocks like MMATF or Metamaterial as it is being sold right now um, on the off the market or off the counter. Let me just look at MMATF. The volume was 106 million. That's very good, above the average of um, 29 million. So I want to look at MMATF, how much they're trading at, because TRCH, as we know right now, is at 464 after hours. So what is MMATF at? It would give us a better idea of where we could see Torchlight going to realistically. And let's look at the range. I'll look at today. Oh my goodness, it's at 13.95. Okay, I didn't realize it was that high. So it closed at $13.95 per share. So if that did, if that didn't answer your question, where we'll see this stock, I don't know what does, because this is not speculation. This is facts. This is reality. It was between 11.50 to 14.98 today, and in the 52-week range, it was at 19 cents to $15. So, oh, I like being proved right. So, just on Wednesday, it was at $7.77, and it doubled. It doubled in 2 days. Oh wow! So a lot of people who are fear mongering the stock, not talking about metamaterial, but TRCH, saying, "Oh, TRCH is over. They're phased out. They're a dinosaur." I would answer to that, yeah, they are. They are being phased out. They are a dinosaur because metamaterial bought them out, and they're going to sell their assets, and they're not going to be Torchlight anymore. They're going to be metamaterial. Metamaterial is just using them as a vehicle. They're being used for metamaterial to go public, and if it's consistent, and it looks like it will be, this will go to $14 a share. So whatever I have, these $5 stocks that are currently, TRCH, which is worth $5 or under $5, on June 30th, it's going to go up to 15. It's going to triple in value. That's great. Who doesn't want their portfolio to triple in value? Well, I guess someone who's living in bizarro world, but I mean, let's look at the last month. It was at $3. What was also at $3? TRCH was also $3. And it went up pretty much at the same time or near the same time as TRCH. It went up to 5, 6, and then went up to 10. I think it was about the same time as TRCH going to 10, 11. And then this past week, it dipped as well, just as TRCH did. TRCH dipped to 6, around $5, $6. This went down to 7, 777, great number. And by the end of the week, just in 48 hours, it doubled to $14. $14.98 to be exact. So all these, speculations that I'm making about TRCH going to $20 is not just pulling numbers out of my butt. This is based in reality because, again, shareholders of TRCH will get their Metamaterial stock 1 for 1. And on top of that, a dividend if you were one of those patient people and people who had more foresight that regarding the dividend. Unfortunately, my mind was a little, I wasn't on point. I wasn't on top of things regarding the dividend. However, I will get some dividend because I did buy some stock at $2, but most of my stock was at $5. So again, if you didn't buy this stock yet, it's not too late. Monday will come and you can get this under $5, right, as soon as the market opens. Yeah, if you are a long-term investor and you're looking to triple your portfolio potentially, why not buy TRCH? You could do a lot worse. This is one of the most exciting stocks, and not just in terms of memes. It's in terms of the potential of the company, what they do, the applicability or application. Sorry, it's not even a word. The application of their technologies, of what they produce, being used in military applications. So we can see potential U.S. military contracts when it comes to that, and they are an American company. We can see a lot of potential applications with biotech, with medical, with a lot of practical use, especially in the automobile sector, with the EV sector, especially. And they work in the same building as Tesla. So, not saying that they have a working relationship, but the chances of them developing a working relationship is higher than somebody not working in the same building. So, you have to take that into consideration as well. And just other things that they do, such as the invisible 5G antenna, which I know not everyone's so gung ho about 5G, and I'm not myself, but similar technologies and similar kind of applications to that, whether it's some other invisible antenna, is very interesting. It sounds like to me, uh, if you've heard of 3D printers, this is kind of like that, except it seems to be going into almost sci-fi kind of proportions. It sounds like something from a science fiction movie, but it's real. It's reality is stranger than fiction. So that's all I have for uh, Torchlight and Metamaterial. I'm just going to quickly go over the other stocks that I've been investing in and been tracking. So the other stock that I did invest in this past week and my order was filled was Canon. They are down to $7.59. And again, crypto is going to rally very strongly. We can see the day's range was 752 to 806. The 52-week range, 176 to $39. That's a very telling sign that this is probably going to explode once Bitcoin recovers to where it was at the 70K, 70,000 US dollars per Bitcoin uh, valuation. I kind of sound like somebody on the news, but anyway, valuation. Um, so yeah, this is also a great time to buy Canaan as well, a Chinese cryptocurrency Bitcoin mining machine producing company. Um, I was saying initially, I think the best price is between 5 to 7, even 5 to 8, and we are under 8. This is a really good time to buy this, and this will definitely get to 20. I almost can guarantee it. I'm not guaranteeing it, but I can almost do that. $20 is very much in play for this stock in the next 12 months, 6 to 12 months, and we can see that it did go up to almost $40 just back in March. So just 3 months ago, it was at $39 per share. That's all for that one. Looking at Sensonics now. There's another company I'm not a shareholder in, but I'm looking to be. My price point is $3. So if it drops, I'll get some shares of this. This has rallied about 8% in the last 24 hours. It's at 391 after hours, and the 52-week for this is 35 cents to 556. Thank you to Trace Trades for pointing this out, as well as Torchlight to me, not personally, but over his videos via his YouTube channel. This has very, very good potential. You just buy this at 3, sell it at 5, you could almost double your portfolio with this stock very quickly. Looking at the last 6 months, it did go to $5.56 back in February. It did dip to under $2 just recently in April and then in May, and we're seeing a strong rally. So if you did buy this below 2, congratulations, because you just doubled your portfolio in the last month. In the last 30 days, you doubled whatever you're worth. So that's great. So it's a great buy. I should probably put a buy order for 2, but I'm a little like, I don't know if it's going to go down to 2. But you know what? I should probably change that buy order to $2. But that does depend on crypto going down again. So will it go down substantially to the point that SOS will be affected? Again, a Chinese company. Oh, this is not SOS, it's Sensonics. So the Sensonics is to do with, I believe it is the blood sugar tracking devices. So yeah, I can see this going to 2. I was actually looking to getting to SOS, not Sensonics. But anyway, I'm looking at the wrong chart. But they're both really good companies. They both start with the letter S. Sensonics is a really good buy as well. If you're going to get into that, get this below 2. Really good buy. You can double your portfolio pretty easily. It'll go to maybe even $10. I don't know. We'll see. That there's a great potential. Trey has some really amazing picks, and Sensonics is no exception. So I would definitely get this under $2. And I think $5 is only a preview what's to come. This could go to even triple digits. I know it sounds ridiculous, but if you look at their next competitor, their rival is Dexcom. I think they're at $400 per share, which doesn't make sense when you look at Sensonics. But you realize, they haven't really. Their products are not. I don't. It feels like they're not. If they're not available or they are available, they haven't reached mass market, uh, full saturation of the market. Kind of like Nintendo had such a stranglehold on the video game industry for all of the 80s, and then Sega came in and they were slowly biting away and taking more of their pie until they owned 50%, and they had to divide it between themselves, 50 and 50, Nintendo and Sega in the 90s. SOS Limited, this is the company I'm talking about. So I regarding cryptocurrency, it's a Chinese company, and my buy price is under $3 or just about 3. And this will definitely go back, I think, to at least 6. It'll take a while. It won't take, a week. It'll take months, probably 6 to 12 months. Again, depending on where Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency markets go. But Bitcoin is the one that really steers that ship in terms of uh, whether it's going up or down. And that's also driven by inflation and what's happening around the world, whether people are more afraid of economic stability and potential food shortages and military potential World War III, all these things that play into Bitcoin's rise or fall, but mostly rise. So that's SOS, and yeah, really good pick. So that one I'm definitely looking to get into. But Sensonics, you know what? I might just swap them. I could swap them. I could swap SOS for Sensonics because I feel like that has more potential in a way. Because SOS is a Chinese company, I might just switch it up after this video to Sensonics below $2. We're going to close with can I say kings? Yeah, the kings of the stock market and kings of the meme stock market, but really, really great stocks, regardless of memes or not. GameStop and AMC. So GameStop today was between 198 to 214. Volume was just, on par with the average, just about. And again, just to review, you want to enter the stock entry point at 140 to 150 per share, and the selling price should be 280 to 300 minimum, so you can get your profits in there. So that's all for GameStop. I'm going to close that now. AMC, looking at what happened with them today, I believe they are down a little bit, not too much, but they're at $54, 52.97 to 56 29, and their volume was below average, so it was about half of the average. Not to fear. I mean, it's hard to predict what'll happen with AMC because they are in a. It's like if GME was above 300 or 400 or 500 for like a month. You're going, how long will this dream last? Is it going to go more? Or is it going to drop? It's kind of we're at an impasse. We're at a fork in the road. This could either go really high or back down to 20. If you haven't bought AMC, I wouldn't buy this right now, unless you enter at 42. That's probably a safer range. 42 to 44 would be a bit safer if you're kind of desperate. But then again, you wouldn't be on this channel. I mean, not that you wouldn't be, but you wouldn't be an Apex investor if you bought it at that price. An Apex investor kind of trade would be between $6 to 10 for this one, because I've been tracking this again for like 6 months. But realistically, I could see this going to 10 to $20, maybe even 26, but I'm going to say 10 to 20 is where the true support is, for especially considering what has happened with the squeeze here. I don't know what kind of squeeze this is. Maybe a gamma squeeze, a second gamma squeeze, or maybe even the short squeeze that they've been talking about, the mother of all short squeezes. Perhaps this is what it is. Perhaps. I'm not saying it is, but it could be. Could be the start of it. Could be it. Right now, it's just so big that the short sellers cannot contain it. So they're like, oh, we'll just leave it. I don't know what we'll do. And many hedge funds are actually closing down as a result because they've lost billions and billions of dollars. So yeah, I think this price for AMC, if you want to enter, personally, I'd say 10 to 20, and that would be a really good price, and then could go right back up to 50, 60. So you'd be doubling, tripling your portfolio just by being a little more patient. All right, that's all I have for this video. I didn't want to do a long one, just wanted to cover the TRCH situation there. And have a great weekend. We'll see you next week. I will most likely do a video on the 30th, maybe even the 29th, but definitely on the 30th on Wednesday to see what has happened, because I'm very excited for the future of the stock and the potential for TRCH, aka Metamaterial. We won't be calling it TRCH. We're only calling it that because that's the name of the ticker symbol, and Torchilight is the company, the shell company that Metamaterial is basically using as like a body, a shell, a vehicle to get their foot in the door and to be publicly traded in the greater stock market. Yeah, I mean, think of it as like Warren Buffett, who's a wealthy, billionaire, saying, "Okay, you know what? I live in this huge mansion, but because I don't like this state anymore or this house anymore, I want to move to a country which has more potential. I'm going to move to Saudi Arabia. Let's just say, it's hypothetical, obviously. I'm going to move. Warren Buffett is saying, I'm going to move to Saudi Arabia. No, I'm not going to live in the States anymore. And I'm going to purchase, get this, I'm going to purchase a house that is worth, he's going to buy a house for, this is going to sound ridiculous, but he's going to buy a house for $1 million. You're going, what? Why are you buying a house that's $1 million? You're Warren Buffett. You can buy a house worth $1 billion. He's saying, no, listen to me. I'm buying the land. It's not the house. It's the land I'm looking at. But because there's a house there, I'm buying this house that I'm going to essentially demolish, which is Torchlight. So Warren Buffett is Metamaterial. Torchlight is the house in Saudi Arabia. And he's saying, I'm going to buy this land, which is like 100 hectares. It's a big piece of land. And with this land, basically, don't look at the house. Don't focus on Torchlight. I'm going to destroy that house, sell off the assets, whatever you want to call it. And on this land, I'm going to build a house that's worth, get this, $100 billion worth of a house. It's going to be the biggest house on the planet. I don't even know if you can call it a house anymore. It's like a military compound at that point, or a castle, whatever you want to call it. It's going to be like a city. I'm going to build the city of Babylon, or going I build my own city of Buffetopolis. So that's essentially what's happening. So it is wrong, and it is very misinformed if you are being uh, having your mind kind of tricked by the media that is focusing on TRCH and not giving you the real picture, the reality of the merger that is happening on the 30th, being finalized, where it's not going to be known as Torchlight. It's not going to be this little $1 million house in Saudi Arabia. It's going to be Warren Buffett's Buffetopolis. It's going to be the biggest city, the biggest house in the planet. It's going to be an incredible, it's going to be the envy of nations. I'm not saying it's going to be the biggest stock in all of history. I'm just saying that's what's happening. He's just using it as a vehicle to, expand their business and to really, go places. They could have picked any company, but just so happens they picked Torchlight. So, you know, the CEO of Metamaterial knows what they're doing. They're very, very savvy, and a lot of investors in Torchlight, whether they know it or not, they are savvy too. Because if they got into this knowing, because they're oil gas company or whatever, they're thinking, then yeah, they're maybe not as smart. They're not really in it for the right reason. But if you're in it because of what Metamaterial is doing and what they are potentially going to do, then yeah, you're ahead of the curve because um, this hasn't even trended yet. It's not even a thing yet. It's like when if you bought Netflix back when Blockbuster Video was still a thing, and you're going, "What the hell is a Netflix? And why would you not rent your movies? Like, don't you want to put it in your DVD player, or your VCR, the cassette tape? Why would you rent something or stream something when the internet is so damn slow? You can't. You're just waiting for it to load, and it's kind of pixely. Because actually, that was one of the complaints when Netflix was starting out. I remember people at Netflix, and I would watch it and going, I don't really like the pixelation. There's so much artifact. I'd rather just watch a DVD and it's super sharp and there's no buffering or anything like that. But now that technology has advanced and connection speeds are crazy fast, it's like you can stream like a Blu-ray video quality, actually 4K and above, without a hitch for the most part. So it's become streamlined and so convenient, very convenient. No one has to worry about late fees. That was one of their things. It's like, oh, you don't have to worry about late fees. You can watch whatever you want for as long as you want. And there's no, I remember the problem in Blockbuster was a new movie would come out. So let's say, King Kong versus Godzilla would come out. They had 10 copies and you have like 100,000 people in your city. That movie's not going to be there if you don't get there on time or if you don't reserve it in advance. So you're going to have to wait for somebody to return the video so you can watch it. Those were the first world problems back in the 90s and early 2000s, and that was actually kind of charming because you're going, "Wow, I can't wait till, they put it back and then I can just take it." And, there's like some excitement there. Like, it's like when you buy a video game physical, cartridge, and you put it in there and you're like, you turn it on, it's like, whoa, there's no such thing as patches. It's complete. There's no glitches. I mean, maybe very little glitches, but anyway, that's all, that's all I have for this video. Thank you very much for your support. I appreciated all the chat last time. Um, I feel like when I'm just talking to myself, it's like everybody, AMC, like, but when people are in the chat, it's like it changes everything. It really, I think it definitely improves my mood and everybody's mood. So thank you very much. I'm going to stop the stream. Oh, people are talking. Is this the next GameStop? You know what? I hate to say it. I don't think it's going to be the next GameStop because GameStop was something that it's like lightning in a bottle. So you look at AMC. AMC was the next GameStop, and actually, I think it surpassed GameStop in terms of the market cap. AMC is worth more than GameStop as a result of going to $60-$50, which I didn't foresee at all. It's like double the value of GameStop, I think, when you look at the market cap. So yeah, I don't personally, I don't think so. I could be wrong, but I don't think I'm going to be wrong. I don't see Torchlight going to $300 per share in the next year. Maybe in the next 10, I don't know, maybe. But can you wait that long? 10, 20 years? Like, who wants to wait 10, 20 years for it to get to that level? I don't think that's a very, not that it's not smart, but you're better off just making money more quickly, going to stocks that are dropping, Like say Netflix drops or Tesla drops to 200, you buy a bunch of Tesla, wait for it to go back to 800 or 600. You're better off doing that because you know it's going to go up in no time compared to waiting 10 years. And you know you're making a lot of money, yes, but you're waiting 10 years. So you know what are you going to do in the meantime? Looks like you had TRCH. You got a 2-to-1 reverse split, probably to $10 a share, and the special dividend. Okay, okay. I don't know what you're saying about the 2-1 reverse split. According to what I've read, the sources I've read, it is a 1-to-1. And if you have MMATF, I think it's actually a reverse split for MMATF. So I think you have that backwards, but I could be wrong. So just provide your source. Just post it in the chat so people can do the research. But as far as my understanding is, it is a 1-to-1, unless I'm wrong, unless you can prove otherwise. And MMATF, I don't remember the exact split as to how many shares you would have. Actually, no, I think it's 1-to-1 for Torchlight. So if you have one Torchlight share, you get one Metamaterial. But if you have one Metamaterial after the merger is complete, I think you'll have, I think it's 2 to 3 shares. I can't remember the exact number, but it might be even 3 shares. So you're getting more for your money. So it's actually better to buy MMETF if that's more viable for you. If that's a better option. And no pun intended with options. MMATF ticker is now on Webull. Oh, it's awesome. It's good. Trading on Webull is not allowed currently. What? Wow. Oh, trading MMATF is not allowed. Does this mean merger on Monday? No, the merger is on the 30th. Look at just do your searches there. Go to Google or DuckDuckGo, whatever search. I recommend DuckDuckGo because they don't track you. Google does track everything you do. So, and they gather personal information on you. So I would use DuckDuckGo just for your own personal security and privacy. And yeah, so look up merger date, MMATF or Metamaterial and Torchlight. You'll see it is the 30th and it's official. Unless they delay it further. If they delay it further, there's always a possibility they could say, "Oh, let's just delay it another week." But that is not going to instill confidence in shareholders. They're going to go, "What the hell is going on? You delayed it once. You can't keep delaying it." But I don't think it's going to happen. But we'll see. Time will tell, right? That's the old adage. Ergo, I like how you used ergo. Good. Almost nobody used ergo. Therefore, covering shorts on Monday morning. Possibly, because if the dividend has been delivered, it's been distributed to shareholders, shorts are going to be in a very bad position. So we could see that happening on Monday. It's hard to say. If the dividend has been given out, then yeah, they're going to be in trouble. If not, if they're kind of doing it slowly, they're going to distribute it slower or over the course of, I don't know, weeks or months. I don't know if that even happens, but anyway, it just depends how it pans out. And I'm not one to say how this is going because I really do not know. I don't know what's going on with the dividend. So no TRCH. Oh, it's not allowed. Okay. Well, then you should probably find another trading platform, an alternative one. Not saying don't deal with Webull, but deal with multiple trading platforms if that's possible for you. So you can get those stocks and not have to worry about, oh, I'm going to buy on the 30th and it's too late because it's going to go like crazy. All right. Thank you very much for your comments and have a great weekend, everybody. If there's no more comments, I'm just going to close this in the next, I'll give you 10 seconds. I'll do a countdown. 10, 9. I'll just do it in my head with my hands. Okay, we're at 5, 4, 3, 2. All right, I don't see any other questions. So the point of this video is, again, just to give you a heads up. This is going to rally, most likely, on the 30th. I see it probably going down on the Monday, Tuesday. I could be wrong, could go up, depending on whether the shorts are going to have their butt kicked by the dividend, because that's going to hurt them, depending on how that went. And if they fulfill their promise of, giving out the dividend, because they could say one thing and do another, that's It's not a good business practice to do that, but they could be also I think they could be sued as well. If they don't follow through. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But regardless of the dividend, Wednesday is going to be very important day for TRCH and Metamaterial. Actually, not we call it TRCH. I'm just going to call it Metamaterial because that's what it is. We're going to call it that from June 30th and going forward. TRCH will be phased out. Right? You're not going to call something that that it is not anymore. Right? We don't call Netflix Redbox or whatever. I don't know if it was Redbox, but I mean, you don't call a company what they're not known as anymore. Or Sega was known as Service Games. We don't call them Service Games anymore. They're known as Sega or that company. Microsoft. We don't call it the Microsoft box. Oh, never mind. It's a bad example. We don't call a company by a name that they're not known as anymore. When they rebrand or they've been bought out by another company or absorbed, unless they keep their name like Marvel and Lucasfilm with Disney, we can call them that, but ultimately it's Disney owns them. So I don't know if that's a good example, but basically we're better off calling the company Metamaterial instead of Torchlight, just to get people to realize the reality that will take place, that will be shifting to on Wednesday, where Torchlight will no longer be uh, a company doing what they did with regards to oil and that industry. Okay, so thank you very much. Have a great week, everyone. I didn't want to do a long video. I only wanted to do like a 5 minute video, but the stock market is very interesting, very intriguing. And then your comments there. Thank you very much for your comments. Gets people thinking, and I like to see different views and different information there, so you can get a better picture of what's going on, as you were saying regarding a potential 2-to-1 reverse split. So potentially, I'm not saying this is true because based on my understanding, if you have 100 shares of uh, Torchlight, you will get 100 shares of Metamaterial. But if what the comment here is saying is true, if you have 100 of Torchlight, you only get 50 Metamaterial, which isn't, it's not bad, but it's not as good as maybe what some people were hoping. So we'll see how that pans out. But I think people are going to complain if they don't get their 1-for-1, because that's what I saw in the press release. So we'll see. Thank you again. Have a great weekend. Apex Investor signing out. See you most likely on the 30th, on June 30th, Wednesday. Okay. After market, not after hours, not during the market hours, because that's not a good idea. It's not good for emotions. Might be good for ratings, but we'll see. If it's really exciting, I might do a video right at the end, like the last half hour or so of trading, or maybe the last hour. I've done that before with the GameStop, and a lot of people seem to like that. But I mean, I'm not here to get likes. I'm just here to help out. So thank you again, and take care. Good luck to all your investments, and God bless you in your investments. Thanks.